All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Second down, Winston. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now Gamez on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. This is Jones. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Winston, the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick, and he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on them.
Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Dumping it off for Johnson. There goes Duke Johnson. He's at the 30, the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Duke Johnson, 97 yards. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. The papers this week, it was all talk about how big of a game this was. Of course it is. It's the playoffs. It's the divisional round. But they handle it well. They score early.
They really did. Plenty of confidence exuded on that drive. No nerves showing. Terrific way to get things started. They are in control.
Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get it through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession. From the gun, Winston. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Gamez to throw it. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Noah Spence in on the stop. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On play action, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it back deep. And, Gamez intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Wentz going to throw. He's going to air one out. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And, man, Charles, talking about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catch. For a rocket like that.
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And down it goes just shy of the 25. Now, a penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Now, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here's Winston. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Winston again. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, 66 yards. And the Bucs have made this a one-score game. Santos with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Winston, the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this.
Great 57.
Johnson on the counter. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And Jeffrey's got it. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Hey, ram.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Quan Alexander not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
81.
Wentz now to throw. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the interception, Winston. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. The Bucks on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Winston. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will be taken at the 13. So we've come upon halftime. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Let's go. Great.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Going up top. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the 2nd person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, 2nd drive, not much better. Throwing now is Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Levante David in there to get him for a loss of 9. And that'll lead to 4th down. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Now Winston. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, Winston. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Here we go. 20. I got him, man. He's mine. 82.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. It's caught inside the 25. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 49 yards.
That's there, partner. I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? They'll step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Wentz. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Let's go now.
Now they struggled to get. That's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe they'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run it with Jones. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter. Now Gamez on second down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Looking downfield for Gamez. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there.
Let's go now.
We keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Second down, Winston. He gets it to Humphreys. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Winston from the gun on third down. Eluding the pressure right. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He'll have the win at his back here in the fourth quarter. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Winston, the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 40.
Hello. What's up?
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Flushed out right.
I'm not.
Hey. Out of bounds, incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver.
I'm just chilling.
Bring up second down.
Even though that one was incomplete,
What are you doing?
The training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though,
you with
extend
anyone?
the life of the play, keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. On play action, Wentz.
Not confirming if you're with anyone right now.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going.
Not much,
but
man.
Boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss.
Great to see Brent Key today. Great.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner.
Do what?
Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it
Very
again
funny.
and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here?
All right. Do they have Xbox?
On your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Fighting through pressure. Escaping the pressure right. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third
like
down. The connection's going to keep
coat
the drive
and
alive and also keep
button
the clock
down
moving. Yeah,
slacks.
from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the
You
ball
talking to
free,
me?
didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you.
Why?
You're in a dire situation now.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second
You're not
down.
wearing a tux.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11.
Wow. Oh yeah, I forgot you bought that tux that time for your sister's wedding.
They go to Johnson again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. M.J. Stewart made the tackle from his corner spot. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Coat and button down and slacks. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So
just be glad you're not here, man. It's been so much drama. Every day. No, like with the girls and the guys. Like, okay, there's 3 parts. One is about the Sadie's thing, kicking people out the group, or bus thing. People not having their bus money ready. Kicking people out of the group for prom, and then apparently the girls and the guys want to stay together on spring break, like in the same house, and it's just so much going on with that. I don't know. I'm not going on spring break with them, but just being in there, listening to them talk about it, just hurts my brain. No, I'm not going. Because I'm going to go on senior trip and just go on spring break for free with Tidwell. Like, I'll still be able to hang out with them, but I'm not going to stay with them because my mom told me that they would pay for either spring break trip or senior trip. And I chose senior trip when I could go on spring break for free still.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty.
Are you coming back for prom too?
You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
That's to his running back, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
Alright.
He's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. And
Nice.
he's taken down deep in Philadelphia territory.
Yeah.
So with a big gainer anyway,
Okay.
so go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down to the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
Winston. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Able to get there and pick it. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Get over there. Go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. And looking at it from the perspective of the losing side here in this divisional round, it all ends so abruptly, doesn't it? A few hours ago, you've got all this hope and anticipation of maybe a deep run, and now you're out of it.
Well, let's applaud the team that won, and rightly so. They're moving on. They still have a chance to get to the big game. But let's not bury the team that lost. I think I do a lousy job of illuminating what a great year they had. Let's face it, when it's all said and done, they were one of 8 teams left with a chance to get to and win the Super Bowl. That's a pretty darn good season.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.